Let's say you want to start a business, and you believe you have the best product or service. But there's a problem. Many others feel the same way. They're all fighting for people's attention, but all this fighting sounds like noise, and no one can hear you. So, how can your business stand out? How can you make people listen? Well, the most successful businesses have figured that out. They tell stories. But it's not just any stories. It's the best stories, like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. Luckily, the best stories aren't just born. They are made in 7 simple steps. Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller shows us exactly how the best companies tell stories that sell. But first, we need to understand why most businesses fail in the first place. The answer is surprisingly very simple. If you confuse, you'll lose. Companies waste enormous amounts of money on marketing, yet many of them get no results. The problem isn't their product. The problem is the story they tell is too complex. In Donald Miller's words, people don't buy the best products. They buy the products they can understand the fastest. Story is like music. Our brain remembers music and forgets about noise, just like we remember some brands and forget about others. The problem is that many companies create noise and not music because they are not using any filter. The aim of branding is to create a simple message as possible that people can repeat over and over, just like we hum our favorite song. But how do we filter the noise? If you look around, almost every story we encounter includes the following structure. A character who wants something encounters a problem before they can get it. At the peak of their despair, a guide steps into their lives, gives them a plan, and calls them to action. That action helps them avoid failure and ends in a success. This is it. You can see the structure of 7 plot points in the best movies and books. For example, here is the first Hunger Games story using this framework. Similarly, businesses that invite their customers into a heroic story grow. Businesses that don't are forgotten. This brings us to the first element of the StoryBrand framework, a character. Every story begins with a hero who wants something. The best businesses think of their customers as the heroes, not just their own brand. Your job is to understand what your customer wants and let them know you can help them get it. A good way to start is by thinking about what your customer needs to survive. Successful businesses often connect with their customers by understanding their basic needs. Survival needs include wanting to be safe, healthy, happy, and powerful. For example, desires could be about saving time or money, gaining status, building social connections, or being part of a group. Think about Walmart's tagline, "Save money, live better." It suggests that by shopping there, you can save money, which is crucial for survival and having a better life. So, if your business helps customers save money, they might be interested. After figuring out what the character wants, the story only becomes interesting when the character faces a problem. A problem is like a roadblock, stopping the hero from getting what they want. It's the hook of the story that keeps the audience engaged. The main reason people will be interested in your business is if you can solve their problems. But before we delve into the types of problems you can solve, we need to create a villain, just like Voldemort in the Harry Potter series. The villain doesn't have to be a person. It just needs to be something recognized as the bad guy, like high taxes. A strong villain causes 3 types of problems simultaneously: external, internal, and philosophical. An external problem is often something physical, like a ticking time bomb. In business, a problem could be not having a computer when you need it. In this situation, Apple can help by selling you a Mac. But here's the thing. Companies tend to sell solutions to external problems, but people buy solutions to internal problems. The internal problem is what frustrates the hero, like self-doubt. For instance, Apple understood that people felt intimidated by computers and technology, so they designed a simpler interface. Apple wasn't just selling computers, they were offering a solution to customers' frustrations. The third type of problem is the philosophical problem, a universal issue dealing with injustices. It is something bigger than the story itself. It's about the why and a sense of meaning. For example, Apple computers can help every person express themselves and encourage them to think differently. The best brands not only sell products but also solve these 3 types of problems at once, creating a story people love. Take Tesla, for instance. Their villain is gas guzzling. The external problem is that the customer needs a car. Internally, the customer wants to be the first to adopt new technology. Philosophically, choosing a Tesla helps save the environment. Now that we have identified the problem, The character needs help to overcome it so he can win the day. They need a guide. Just like Gandalf guided Frodo, your brand is the guide for your customer. However, when people encounter a new brand, it's similar to when they meet a new person and they wonder, can I trust this guy? People need a guide they can trust. There are two things businesses can do to become a trusted guide: express empathy and establish authority. Firstly, it's important for any business to understand and express their customers' pain and frustration. People want to be seen, heard, and understood. Show empathy by saying things like, "We get it," or, "Like you, we are frustrated by." This builds trust because people prefer brands they can relate to. Secondly, a business must show it knows what it's doing without being a know-it-all. When customers interact with your brand, like visiting your website, they want confidence that you can help them. You can do this by adding brief testimonials, showcasing statistics such as joining a newsletter with "helping 1 million people," and featuring logos of businesses you've worked with. These types of elements help customers check the trust box. So now, the trusted guide is part of the story, but the character is still not ready to take action. It's because they need to know what the next step is. They need a plan. It is the bridge the hero needs to cross to get what they want. For our business, we need to identify the steps the customer needs to take to do business with us. It's all about bringing clarity and removing the sense of risk. Let the customer know what steps they need to take to buy or use your product. For example, see how Wix shared a plan of 6 steps on how to create a website for free. Even if the plan is clear, the hero is still hesitant to take action. They need someone to encourage them to take action. Businesses need to make it very clear what they want their customers to do. If you want them to buy now or call today, you need to say exactly that. You need to be bold. Otherwise, they will ignore and move on. There are 2 important types of calls to action: direct and transitional. They are like 2 stages in a relationship. Direct calls to action are the steps that lead to a sale. For example, buy now is similar to saying, "Will you marry me?" But just like in relationships, some can be intimidated by that. Maybe it is too fast. For those customers who still don't act, there are the transitional calls to action. It's when you offer them something for free, like downloading a PDF with useful tips for public speaking. It's like saying, "Can I take you out on a date?" They contain less risk and lead your customers towards doing business with you eventually. The story is nearly finished, but we still need to answer an important question. Will the hero succeed or fail? Just like we wondered if Frodo would destroy the ring and save the world, any business should help their customers imagine how their life might change if they buy their product as well as if they don't. Talking about failure is powerful. People are motivated by loss aversion, meaning they hate losing more than they love winning. For example, people hate losing $100 more than they like winning $200. So, when deciding to buy something, mentioning what the customer might lose can be a great motivator. For instance, if you're a financial consultant, you can help your customers avoid things like not being ready for retirement. So, it might sound something like this: don't wait until retirement to enjoy your life and be with your family. Finally, we need to offer a happy ending. People need to know what to hope for. Successful businesses make it clear how they can change people's lives if they engage with their products or services. They use lots of pictures of success, showing happy people using their products. One way to make a story end happily is when the hero gains power and position, like in movies where the underdog wins the girl in the end. Businesses can offer status in different ways. For instance, they can provide access, like Starbucks does with a membership that earns points for rewards, like free coffee. Another way is to offer something special for a limited time, like Coca-Cola did with the Share a Coke campaign. Customers could buy bottles and cans with their name or a loved one's name on them, but only for a short time. So, this is the StoryBrand framework. Learning and understanding this can be a total game changer. When customers finally grasp how you can help them live a wonderful story, your business will grow.